Hi friends, welcome back again to our English class. Hope all are fine and safe at home. I am sure all are eagerly waiting for Julian's narration on her expedition in a jungle. Aren't you all? But before that, we have to look at the assignments. I hope you have completed all your assignments. Here is one of them, written by one of my students. Look at it.
Yes, I like to fly like a bird, touching the skies by chasing a dream and hopefully going higher and higher with my best friend, my book, who shows the way to achieve my dreams. The Earth is a unique planet which adorns everyone in it. The waterfalls, mountains, river, jungle, etc. are very attractive. It is an awesome experience. Look into these features higher in the sky. And also, I love skydiving, which is an adventurous experience to all who have done it. I will definitely do it if I get a chance to do it. And the most important reason that I always like to fly is that flying keeps me free as ever. Thank you.
In the last class, we have seen the flight which Julian and her mother boarded crashed in a jungle, and Julian was thrown out of the plane and fell into the darkness of the jungle. Now children, let us read the next 3 paragraphs and see what happens to Julian in the jungle.
I can remember turning over and over in the air. I remember thinking that the jungle trees below looked like cauliflowers. Then I lost consciousness. It was still light when the rain woke me up. I was lying under a section of 3 seats turned upside down. There was no sign of my mother, of any other passengers, or of the plane. All I could hear were frogs croaking and the rain. I had a bump on my head and a gash in my foot. I felt no pain, but I couldn't muster the energy to move and look round. Thus I spent the whole night lying under the seat, half asleep, in shock. The next morning I crawled out slowly because everything swam dizzily before me. I saw a small package and opened it. It contained some sweets and a Christmas cake. I tasted the cake and dropped it. It was soaking wet and revolting. Then I picked up a long stick with which to probe the ground to avoid snakes, poisonous spiders, and ants. My parents had taught me about the perils of the jungle in the years we had lived in it, that it is not the big animals that are the most dangerous, but the snakes and the insects. Feeling ahead with the stick, I started looking for my mother. I was so dizzy that after each step I had to rest. After hours of poking around, I heard gentle splashing nearby and discovered a tiny brook. My parents had impressed on me that when lost in the jungle, one should always look for the streams and then follow them to larger streams. Rivers are what the roads are here, and the Indian tribes and the white plantation people live on their banks. Rivers in the tropical forest of Peru meander and circle. One can walk for kilometers along a bank and only advance 100 meters toward one's destination. But I had to stay near or in the stream. Its banks were overgrown with tangled vines, making every step arduous. Sometimes I had to wade through the water because huge, rotted tree trunks barred my way. It was slow going. Nights in the jungle are attractive only in films. In real life, they are frightening. There was always a rustling somewhere. Snakes? Something was crawling over my legs. A tarantula? Even the air seemed poisoned by decaying trees. I slept fitfully.
Alright, now tell me, what might have happened to Julian? Right, the plane caught fire and it burst. Julian was thrown out in the explosion. Now children, it's time for you all to read the paragraphs. Don't forget to refer to the glossary for difficult words. Now, let us discuss some difficult words in these paragraphs. What's this video? Who produces this sound? Yes, the frogs. What word is used to refer to this sound? Right. Read the fifth paragraph and find out the words. Right. The frogs are croaking. So, croaking is the sound produced by the frogs. So, croak means a sound made by a frog. Now, see the sentence here. Two words are underlined here. See the sentence here. I had a bump on my head and a gash in my foot. These two words, bump and gash. What does it mean? I hope you can infer the meaning from the images. See here? Yes, bump means a light blow. And gash means a long, deep wound or cut. So, Julian had a bump on her head and a gash in her foot. See the word highlighted here in this sentence. What is it? Yes, the word is master. Do you know the meaning of the word master? Let me tell you an incident. When I was a little child, my teacher asked me to deliver a speech on the stage. But as a child, I was afraid. I was frightened. My teacher motivated me to speak, and somehow I mustered the courage and went to the stage and delivered the speech. So children, muster means to gather. Julian describes the cake which she saw beside her. How does she describe it? Here it is. The cake was soaking wet and revolting. The food shown here was prepared 2 days back. It is almost decayed. It is revolting. So, revolting means disgusting. അതായത് അരോചകമായ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അറപ്പുണ്ടാക്കുന്ന രീതിയിൽ. Now children, see this image? Yes, you can see a boy. He's poking around here. So poke means look or search around with something. എന്തിനെയൊക്കെയോ തിരയുന്നതിനെയാണ് poking എന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. Now see the sentence here. Read the sentence. Right. I heard a gentle splashing nearby and discovered a tiny brook. There is a word brook. What do you mean by brook? Here is a picture of brook. Watch this. So, brook means a small stream. അരുവികളെയാണ് brook എന്നതുകൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. Julian talks about the Peru meander and circle. Watch this. Here you have the Peru meander and circle. Meander means to take a winding course or wander aimlessly. ചുറ്റി വളഞ്ഞു പോവുക. അതിനെയാണ് meander എന്ന് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. Now, Julian talks about the river banks. What does Julian say about the river banks? Julian says that the river banks were overgrown with tangled vines. Here you can see the bank overgrown with tangled vines. കെട്ടുപിണഞ്ഞു കിടക്കുന്ന വള്ളികളെയാണ് tangled vines എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. She also talks about huge rotted tree trunks. Here is the image. Watch this. Children, in the 4th paragraph, Julian describes the jungle trees when she was falling into the forest. How does she describe it? Right. The jungle trees looked like cauliflowers. She compares the trees to cauliflowers. The next question is, Julian couldn't muster the energy to move around. Why was so? Right, she was afraid and she also had a bump in her head and a gash in her foot. Moreover, she was afraid. In the next paragraph, you can see Julian picking up a long stick while moving forward. Why is it so? Correct. It was to probe the ground to avoid snakes, poisonous spiders, and ants. What was the lesson taught by Julian's parents? Julian's parents had taught her about the perils of the jungle, the dangers of the jungle. What was it? Yes, that it is not the big animals that are the most dangerous, but the snakes and insects, the small animals. What do you think about this? As Julian correctly said, big animals can be seen in the forest, while the small animals attack unnoticed. Julian's parents had taught her another tip if stranded in a jungle. What is that? Read the next paragraph and find out. Absolutely. It is about rivers. That rivers are the roads in jungles. Walking along the banks would take more time to reach the destination. പുഴകളാണ് കാട്ടിലെ പാതകൾ എന്നാണ് ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത്. പുഴയിലൂടെ ലക്ഷ്യസ്ഥാനത്തെത്തുന്നത് പ്രയാസകരമായിരിക്കും. Children, why did she find every step in the jungle very difficult? Right. Its banks, the river banks, were overgrown with tangled vines and sometimes huge rotted tree trunks blocked the way. കെട്ടുപിണഞ്ഞു കിടക്കുന്ന വള്ളികളും മരക്കുറ്റികളും വഴിയിൽ തടസ്സമുണ്ടാക്കി. Now children, there is an expression that suggests the narrator had a disturbed sleep at night. Which is it? Right, I slept fitfully. It means that she had a disturbed sleep at night. We have also come across Julian saying that nights in the jungle are frightening, are always frightening. Why is it so? Right, there may be snakes, and she says that even the air seemed to be poisoned by decaying trees. Now, children, in the same paragraph, she talks about a creature that was crawling over her legs. Yes, it is a tarantula, a big spider, a poisonous spider. You can see the picture. Now children, read the sentence from the narrative. Yes, the sentence is here. I was so dizzy that after each step I had to rest. What is the meaning of that sentence? First of all, let us split the sentence into two. The narrator was dizzy. What happens as a result of that? She had to take rest. So because she was dizzy, she had to take rest. So that is used to combine two clauses. It brings out the meaning that one is a result of another. Look at the table given here. Yes, in the first one, you have to write the reason and the second, the result. I was very dizzy. After each step, I had to rest. Here are some sentences given. Write them in the table as shown here. The exam was so difficult that most of the students failed. He was so weak that he had to be rushed to a hospital. The tea is so hot that we cannot drink it. He drove so fast that no one could overtake him. So, split these sentences into two and fill in the table given here. Now, based on this, you have to combine the following sentences using so that. Here, two sentences are given. You have to combine them. The air was very turbulent. The plane started to move up and down. The next one, jungles are quite attractive. You forget the dangers lurking in them. Now children, here are the points we discussed today. But some of them are missing. Complete it by adding the suitable points. Now children, here are some questions. Find out the answers from what we have learned today. What did the jungle trees below look like? What woke her up? Third question. Who was beside her? Fourth one. What did Julian have on her head and in her foot? Next question. Did Julian muster the energy to move around? Next one. Where did she spend the whole night? What did Julian pick up to probe the ground? The next question. What did she learn from her parents about big and small animals? What had her parents impressed on her? What were the river banks overgrown with? How were the nights in the jungle? And why? How did she sleep? So children, write the answers for all these questions in your notebook. Add few more points to this and prepare a summary of all these paragraphs we discussed today. Children, that's all for the day. I'm Sandhya from Arikod High Secondary School, signing off.